What I'm most well known for is I came here during the pandemic, and I had to start over, and it was a very difficult time because I was starting from zero. And in that year, I really had no choice. It was sink or swim. So I got on the phones, got on the doors, and I produced 52 sold transactions in my first 12 months here in Texas. But my mission now is really to share that journey with others, because I know that I am not the only person who has ever felt that way, that we didn't have a choice and we had to fly. So today I just want to share those tips with you all. And, if you ever want to be a team leader or guide others from a place of serving, that's what today is all about. My first question is for Josh. So interest rates are blamed for about 90% of what's happening in real estate, yet you've been able to close 30 deals this year. What are you looking for in applicants? What trends do you see that get deals done from the first conversation?
I would say my ideal client is somebody with good credit, somebody that can document their income, and somebody that has sufficient funds available for down payment and closing costs. But let's face it, that's not everybody that we talk to, is there? So as a lender, we look at three things. We look at credit, income, and assets. So with credit, being a broker. So I recently did a loan for one of the parents of one of my son's classmates, and she just got divorced. She hadn't worked in like 10 years, but she divorced a doctor. So that's kind of like hitting the divorce lottery, I guess. But nonetheless, she didn't have an actual income. So we took the assets that she received from the divorce and used that for her qualifying income. She bought a $750,000 home in Plano, with just 10% down. So generally what you're going to find with other lenders, that's something that they're going to punt. I know that's a deal I've had to punt in the past when I worked for a bank because it didn't fit within the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, or FHA box. So being a broker, I'm able to get a little more creative. And then as far as assets goes, there's down payment assistance programs that allow for credit scores as low as 600.
So Josh, would you say that you're looking for people of high motivation but aren't completely perfect?
So yeah, that definitely makes my job a lot easier, because that means I'm not chasing their documents. And generally after that initial conversation, I have documents fairly quickly. And believe me, I instill some urgency when I'm talking to them, because at the end of the day, this home buying process, it's on their clock. I can make it happen as fast as they want to, or if they want to drag it out. Of course, I don't want to drag them out, but I have wouldn't call it strategic. I've got a systematic follow-up system, because the fortune's in the follow-up. So with that, highly motivated folks are my favorite, because that's somebody that, I like instant gratification. And let's face it, the home buying process isn't an instant gratification process, because it might take them 30 days to find a house. It's going to take them another 30 days to close. So really, the sooner I can get that person in my pipeline and them close, I feel good about it, and more than likely they do too.
A rule of thumb all of you can write down: the best time to ask for a referral is when your client has signed something. Buyer's rep, contract, offer. That's when they're the most excited. It's the best time to ask for a referral. So in your case, probably when they submit the application, right? They're the most excited. They're like, hey, did I get it? Like, what's my credit? They're calling you all the time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then another thing for me, that's a value add that I can add to my realtors. So how many of you guys have had a lender just give you a referral back at the end of the transaction? That doesn't happen very often, does it? So as a lender, I want to be able to add value every chance I get. Let's face it, you guys are going to send me more buyers than I'll send you, but if I can add you another buyer, I'm helping you make your next mortgage payment or paying for your next vacation in Paris. So
We just came back from Paris.
Yeah.
But why do we think that is? That all of a sudden now we're starting to see the not perfect people jump into the market.
Your incentives and opportunities.
Yep. Because they knew that when there was multiple offers, they were probably not going to be picked. But now these people have an opportunity. So maybe for us, instead of saying, oh, that person is 600 credit, oh, they just, whatever isn't perfect about them, maybe we should give this person a chance because they're going to be more motivated to close the deal. So I have the same question for these two gals. In your initial contact with a buyer or seller, and based in this short period of time where you've done a ton of business, what are some key things that you're looking for that's a trend in people who go from contact to close?
Motivation is really key for me. I'm learning now that pre-qualifications and making sure people are really motivated to sell is really what drives them from a lead to contact to a closing table. Because if someone's not motivated to sell or buy, they're no matter what changes, they're not going to buy or sell unless they're truly motivated. So
what are some of those conversations like? What is it you're listening for when you're talking to a prospect?
well, when I cold call, I really want to know why they're selling. That's the main reason why. Oh, I'm going through a divorce. I have this debt that needs to be paid off by this certain date, or I need to relocate for a job. I need to leave out the house because I'm getting a divorce. Those are kind of the key things that I'm looking for. And then I just build a report from there. And then I try to get in their door that same day to set an appointment and get a signed contract.
What about people who say things to you like, I want my price, or can you get me X price? I'll sign with you today if you get me X price.
My thing about that is that I don't take any listing that I don't think I can sell. So I think meeting expectations is really important. I know some agents will take a listing and they know that it's overpriced. They'll stick their sign in their yard and just pray for a price reduction. With price reductions, I feel that if I have a lot of those, I try to refrain from them. It kind of lacks confidence in my client. So I always make sure that head on our first conversation is what the realistic pricing strategy would be for this market. Because I want to earn my business through honesty and integrity versus over promising and under delivering. So I always make sure that we all are on the same page, so there's no disappointment in the end and I get a bad review. No one wants that. So
I don't want to repeat the same thing, so it's 90% exactly what you just said. However, some seller may agree with the market price because I cannot be entitled of the price, the market that's priced your home, but they still want to try and price it over where they think it's going to sell. So with those kind of sellers, you just need a little bit of patience. So what I do is, let's say, for example, the house is worth $275. They want to list at $285. I would tell her, we're going to list at $280, but you and I agree that the market says your home is worth $275. So if in case we do not have any movement in the next 2 years, 2 weeks, do you agree to sign an amendment to improve the price? If they say yes, okay, would you mind signing the amendment right now with the anticipated dates so actually we can drop the price by the time? But if everything goes well with your price, we are good to go, and I will still try to negotiate for the highest amount. So that's the only difference, right?